You are listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live. Hello, welcome to the Claret and Blue podcast. It's Saturday evening, 7:15. I've just got back from Villa Park after Villa throw away a win against Wolves, 2-0 up, 3-2 defeat in the end. Very, very disappointed is my first initial thought. Obviously, we always do a weekly podcast on Monday where we look at things in a bit more detail, stats, analysis, that kind of thing. Post-match debrief. I think this is called post-match reflections. This is our chance for kind of in-the-moment feelings, how we feel Saturday evening. Deflated is probably the word, Ash. I've watched it from the stands. You've watched it from the press box. How was it for you up there? There's a few rewrites, I imagine, in that last 5 minutes.
A few. Jesus Christ, man. Nightmare that was. A man in a block. Goals are getting flying in left, right and centre. Villa couldn't hold on. Just bottled it, didn't they? The players bottled it on the pitch. Yeah. I've seen the replays now, like Watkins just ducking out of the header, the back post, keeps the ball alive for Wolves and they go and score. And yeah, just undone at the end and pig sick I am, mate. Sickening. Spoke to Smith after. He's at a loss. Either lost that Villa. Smith's getting his, like I say, Smith's getting his pelters, isn't he, for his changes and whatnot. We'll get to that, but they were like for like changes, the changes you'd make in the game, and yeah, I suppose you didn't see the game out. And not me, I was going to swear then. But
I was just about to say, don't watch your language. I mean, you could swear; it doesn't really matter. But let's try and keep it PG. There'll be lots of comments coming through. Leave your comments. Everyone, I've already had a few exchanges with people on social media. Everyone's got their own opinions. That's absolutely fine. Let's not all have a go at each other because we don't agree. Let's try and go through step by step a little bit. Then the 3-5-2 back in action for Villa. Tuanzebe comes in and Buendia in central midfield for Jacob Ramsey playing as a 10 and sometimes supporting the attack as a third striker, almost pushing up right off the last shoulder of the Wolves defence. Which great to see, attacking, go for it. But that first half, rubbish. I thought the first half, I couldn't stop myself yawning. I don't mean that as an over exaggeration of like it was really boring. I just couldn't get it going. The atmosphere was flat. It was going into that, like as I just said to you about rewrites. Then knowing that we had to do this late, I was thinking about first half. If it stays like this, I could just come on and say, boring draw, two derby, two rivals kind of cancel each other out, boring. Then I'm thinking, 2-0 win, easy podcast tonight. Let's just go and be happy. Then you go back to 2-1, 2-2, and you're like, bad to throw away a point there, isn't it, at the end? And then for that free kick, giving away a free kick there when you got Ruben Neves to ping one in. But if that goes postage stamp, top corner in the last second, you kind of go, we've been undone there by a bit of magic. And even that goes in off a deflection off target, I think it was. It's just such a horrible way to lose. So I've been all over the place this afternoon, and again, I just said there were loads of comments. There's loads of stuff. Smith out, Smith clueless, lack of control, lack of decision making, not good enough. We need to move on. Loads of comments like that. And I'm all for Dean Smith. I don't think that's right. It's so polarising, isn't it? After Man United, we're sitting here going, give him a new contract. And then we lose in the last minute to Wolves, and it's a poor coach, get rid of him. I don't think those two things are right. I don't want to get to the substitutions just yet, because I think that's probably the biggest talking point. Just that first half, Ash, your opinion on it. What were you writing at half time?
Just that big Danny Ings chance was the one, wasn't it? Yeah. Exactly where you want Buendia to be, threading them through balls in. Nice way to pass. Buendia was okay in the first half. Ings was in on goal. So save one. That's the only big chance other than the Adama Traore running past 5 Villa players. Them 2 chances, but that's all she wrote in the first half, to be fair. And you thought probably Villa take the game to Wolves after the break. 3 minutes later, they did so. John McGinn, brilliant today. Yeah. Outstanding today. He put his backside into say. He's got the cross in. Danny Ings does what he does best, and that's his 3rd goal in 8 now. So decent.
Good goal, that was.
We kick on again then. McGinn, scoring well. Deflected effort, goes in, flying now. Home and hosed almost. You're thinking, come on then. And then he rings a change, doesn't he? Freshens things up. He told me afterwards, Buendia couldn't run no more. He ran himself to the ground and he has to come off. So he hasn't played. He has to come off. So he hasn't played 90 minutes in a while. It's not what you want. It's not what you want from a club record sign, is it? You want him to stay on and man it. And when he had nothing left, he ran himself into the ground. So hence why Ramsey come on for fresh legs. And yeah,
also, just, again, I have to play devil's advocate. The flip side of that is one of your players is flagging. You don't run him into the ground and lose him through injury, do you? If he's not fit and he has to come off, that's we should have the squad depth now that bringing a sub on doesn't lose us the game from that position. I know Smith said that he doesn't think the substitutions have lost us the game. I think you tweeted it, and the reaction is, how can you think that? And I scrolled through it. I was like, yeah. I agree with the manager for once. Like my opinion is vindicated here. The manager thinks the same as what I think. I don't think the subs did lose us the game.
No, he set pieces, wasn't it?
Said nothing to do with Smith today. Change of force, and the players that came on didn't step up. It's the players' fault. We can't defend in the box. That's not Dean Smith. We've said this before. Dean Smith's not kicking balls, is he? The substitutions. All right, let's just talk about it because it's the main talking point, isn't it? Cash comes off with a dead leg, which I didn't realise at the time. He did look in discomfort a little bit when he was coming in. So, yeah, fair enough. He comes off. Ashley Young, experienced fullback now, has just won the title. Big name in the dressing room. Decent change. Douglas Luiz comes off. They probably knew he wasn't going to finish a full game. He's flown 5,000 miles yesterday. He comes off in the Canberra. Light flight substitution. Fair enough. Emi Buendia, didn't realise at the time that he wasn't fit and wanted to come off. And he comes off for Jacob Ramsey, who's a more traditional centre midfielder rather than a number 10, a bit more, solidity in the midfield. Those substitutions in isolation, they all make sense to me. There's nothing there that stands out as going, that's too defensive, because we've lost the game. So it's not like that's shored up the game. We were 2-0 up or 2-1 up maybe when those changes are all complete and we can't change the game after that. I don't really understand what's wrong with any of those changes, to be honest. With people saying poor game management, those changes make sense to me.
Yes, 100%.
I don't know what else you can do there.
No, you can't do much. I thought Tuanzebe was off his game today. I was surprised to see him start, to be fair. I thought Cornelius did okay at Spurs.
Yeah,
I asked Smith about that. He said, I thought Raul Jimenez had played, so I wanted to go to Tuanzebe against him. So he got that one wrong there with Jimenez on the bench. And yeah, Tuanzebe looked out of sorts. He looked a bit rusty. He looked a bit flagging towards the end. He couldn't get his leg over himself to clear that ball when it rolled home. So, yeah, when you're making changes to a back three as well, it disrupts the flow of things. You want to keep it steady and consistent in there. That eased Villa a little bit, and hence they conceded from the set pieces the way they did. So yeah, just set pieces. Second phases, Villa cleared the first ball in okay. Then Wolves work it, and then people aren't doing the jobs. People are bottling it. I've seen Ollie Watkins duck out of a header at the back post. I know he's not meant to be doing that, but
put your body on the line.
Needs must. You got to.
We're trying to save 3 points here. We're ahead against. Again, I keep calling it a local derby. I don't care about Wolves that much. They're not. They're not the derby for Villa, but it's still a local game. It's still a big deal. You're winning. It's 3 points at the end of the day. That's what you're fighting for. You put your body on the line for that. Too sloppy. Too, like Mohamed just said there, gave away so many passes.
Yeah.
Just something looked wrong about Villa today. I thought even when we went 2-0 up, something just felt off, and that's easy to say with hindsight. But if something came out in the news after in the press conference or the following day saying, that had been hit with an illness in Bodymore, food poison or something, you'd have kind of gone, oh yeah, that made sense. We didn't look quite at it. It looked like heavy legs at times. And there's a point from Rusty Russ. Again, apologies, we're a bit all over the place here. Sorry, Ash. He says, parking the bus by taking off a defensive midfielder for a young, inexperienced attacking midfielder. Smith lost the plot on that and sticking by his decision. And you can say that subs didn't cost us. We were playing fine till then. How can you say you don't think anything was wrong? I just don't know. I just don't think the subs were the problem for me. I just don't know what else we can do there. Jacob Ramsey started every game started most games in the Premier League as that midfielder, that number 8 box to box. And Buendia's flagging, so he comes off a bit more strength in midfield. He's very lightweight, isn't he, Buendia? So yeah, he's inexperienced, but I don't know what else you can do. I don't know. Sanson, people are saying Sanson instead of Ramsey potentially, but he's barely played, has he? It's one of those situations where Smith can't really win, because if on the 82nd minute we'd brought on Cameron Archer to go for it and we lose, people are going, he's throwing it away there. He's gone too attacking. Why didn't we sit back and hold off for a point? He's brought on a defensive midfielder and shored up the midfield and switched the right back because he's got injured. And it's he's gone too defensive. He's gone too far the other way. It's just those changes were pretty much all enforced, I think.
Yeah, I think with a better side for 75 minutes. Matty Cash had a couple of chances as well, cutting inside, and we were, like I say, we were home and hose, and then just set pieces switching off. For all the Aston McPhee, we love him. We give him.
Let's defend some set pieces, please.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to be at the other end. I mean, Smith said his coaches re-watched the last 15 minutes after the game as well. They sat there and re-watched it. So just trying to put the fingers on what went wrong. And it's set pieces. They couldn't defend set pieces. They bottled it. We need some more leaders out there who take responsibility. So big reaction needed. The players are back in tomorrow morning. So they're back in. They'll go through the game again. And it can't happen again. You can't give a 2-goal lead away and lose your match with 10 to go. It's criminal. So, lots of questions to ask, really. It's just hard to put your finger on.
I was listening to Gary Thompson on the way back on Radio WM, and we've got him on the podcast at some point in the next couple of weeks. Speaking about his career, cheeky plug there. But he was saying that, alarm bell should be ringing at 2-1 to go, right, let's not, let's kind of kick ourselves into gear. Definitely don't want to lose, but you're winning here, man up kind of thing, get ready. So go to 2-2, that should be serious, going, right, this is something wrong, to lose it from that point. I know it's a deflected free kick, but even so, it's just sloppy, isn't it? It's just poor from Villa that in that last 10 minutes. And for the most part, you say we're the better side for 75 minutes, which I agree with, but we weren't good for 75 minutes. We were better than Wolves. Wolves didn't really offer anything during that game, I don't think. I think they
not at all.
To set up and be probably happy with a draw, which is fine. They're away from home. They're playing 3 at the back. It was very hard to break them down in the first half. I thought it was really difficult. Villa weren't really getting anything, but I think that's because Wolves were set up to play that way. To lose it like that is just poor, isn't it? People saying in the comments you can't keep making excuses, but the thing that I don't like is that it's easy to trot things out like it's a bad day at the office, or Villa shot themselves in the foot, or we're the masters of our own downfall. Let's learn from this. Let's take this as an opportunity to learn from. It's like, we never do we? How many times have we said things like we're the masters of our own downfall? That's always the case. Whenever we lose, it's us doing something stupid. If Wolves ripped us apart today in the second half and changed it tactically and absolutely dominated us, you kind of have to sit here and go, fair enough, like the better side won. We've thrown it away. We've gifted our local rivals 3 points there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think I've seen a photo of Wes Edens was there today as well, the owner.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Very, very rare appearance from Wes. He's hardly ever at Villa Park, and that's neither really. But yeah, I wonder what he's thinking today, blowing it like that. They've got to back it up now with Arsenal Friday. They've got to show something there to make sure this is just a blip. You can't see too many of these happening, Dan. And if they do, we've seen the reaction today. You start stringing a couple of defeats together, you're thinking of the worst, didn't you? So they need to back it up now. They need to go in tomorrow, get their heads right, find out where it went wrong, and get it right for Friday against Arsenal away. Tough game. Arsenal banging form.
I know.
So they've got to put on a display there now. And yeah, just shocking, mate. I'm still shocked, to be fair.
What do you think of the 3-5-2? There's been a bit of debate on social media that it doesn't work. Watkins, a few comment from Adam just come in there. Watkins and Ings doesn't work together. Watkins doesn't look happy. Watkins just doesn't look right to me for some reason. Again, it's almost like he's carrying some kind of knock that we don't know about.
I've said that for weeks, but I've been scared to say it because I'll get hammered because I know how Watkins is loved, but I'm not having him at the moment. Watkins, took his goal against Tottenham, but other than working hard, I haven't seen much of him. Ings has got 3 and 8 now, banging. Right places, right time, Danny Ings. You know what you're going to get from him. Yeah. Watkins, I don't know what show he's doing at the moment. It's a question mark.
I think Watkins works better as a lone striker, running the channels with 2 wide men either side of him. As much as the 3-5-2 gives us some width with Target and Cash, and Cash is definitely the better wing back out of those two. Which, so again, all over the place. Yeah, I've seen people slamming Target on social media. I didn't think Target was that bad. I don't think
he was okay. He was okay.
Again, fine. But you want more wing back, don't you? Watkins with 2 proper wingers next to him. That's what we saw last year. And to be fair, he had Grealish with him as well, which obviously is a big help. Ings likes playing with 2 up front, but not particularly getting much service out of Watkins, is he? It's not like Watkins is setting up all Ings' goals.
Exactly.
So Ings is getting us by through kind of like raw ability, I guess. Whereas Watkins needs a bit more service to that. He's just not been the same this season.
Not the races at all, mate. For me, I think about taking him out the side now. I really would give him a breather. I think he plays every game for Smith, doesn't he? He's come out the side. I think he needs to. I'll give him a rocket at the backside. Thinking my performance is a dip of late. He can't just go on. He's just a runner. He just works hard runner.
Yeah.
We need more. Like Ings is proving. So I take him out the firing line and he asked me about the system. I think when Leon Bailey's fit, if he ever is fit.
I know. Again, what's going on with Leon Bailey on the way there today? We were talking about him. It's like this potentially potentially world-class player on his day that we don't get to see, and there's almost like this mystique about him that we don't get to see him. We're like, oh, he's played 80 minutes, but he's quite good, but we don't really know how good he is because it feels like he's never going to get a consistent run in the side. And again, we've talked about it before with like managers don't have to come out and give us all the details about injuries, but if they know he's going to be injured, just tell us he's injured. I'm sick of hearing all this stuff. Oh, definitely back for Wolves, wasn't it, at one point? And then he's not even on the bench today, and it's, oh, we'll see how he is. He should be all right for Arsenal. Will he be all right for Arsenal? Or are we going to be saying exactly the same thing on Friday night? Like, I'm sick of it. If people are injured, I'd rather just know. And we've got this potentially great player on our hands that we get to see in dribs and drabs because he pulled his quad kicking a football. Christ. So frustrating. I almost swore then. Yes. So it's just making me more wound up now. I was going to make a point then about a player that's just come up in the comments. So I can't find the comment that I was going to go to. Watkins, you were just talking about Watkins, of course. Obviously, there's things we don't know about players, isn't there? And why things might not be working for him. He's just had a baby. Maybe he didn't have a great night's sleep last night. Maybe that's why he looks off.
I know all about that, Ollie. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that 3-5-2 doesn't really seem to be suiting Watkins, and we're only really playing that to fit him and Ings on the same side. So if Watkins isn't performing, don't play for 3-5-2. Let's go back to a 4-3-3. And Ings is your main man for now, partnered with Buendia on the right wing and Bailey on the left wing when he's fit. That's probably the best front three. But how you don't put Ollie Watkins in the starting 11 after what he did last year seems criminal. But this season, which is all you can go off, he's not scoring goals. So he shouldn't be in the side. We carried him essentially. Like if we'd have won today, I would have been coming on here saying, we've got by there today. Like Watkins was pretty much a passenger. I don't think the defence was that brilliant, but we've managed to get the 3 points, and that's all that matters. But we've ended up losing the game, and your £30 million striker isn't doing the business. So that then becomes a problem, not just something we've gotten away with. Yeah.
Do people asking about Tyrone Mings then? I mean, what do you think about him today, Tyrone?
There was one part where he sliced a couple of clearances, I think, like in succession straight after each other. And there was a guy sits nearby me who said he bottled some kind of 50-50. I can't remember what it was. And then he ran back and he got onto the end of a different tackle. Indifferent. I thought the whole defence was pretty shaky apart from Cash, but his best showings is going forward more so than defensively. Again, I feel like it's almost a little bit reactionary, like we said about Dean Smith. You know, when he wins it, when he wins, it's give him a new contract. When we lose, it's get rid of him. You know, he's not good enough to take us to the next level. When we beat Man United with 3 at the back, we think it's the best thing ever. When we throw away a lead against Wolves and lose, it's like, oh, let's go back to the 4-3-3. I don't know whether it's as simple as that, but it does feel a bit like it's run its course now, because Tuanzebe/Hawes are either or for me. I don't think either of them are brilliant enough to be starting every single game as a centre-back for Aston Villa if their aspirations are to be top 8, top 6. And then you're shoehorning in a striker who at the moment isn't scoring goals. So drop the weaker centre-back and drop the weaker striker and go back to a 4-3-3.
Yep, I think we'll see that sooner rather than later now. Yeah, like you say, the reason Smith persevered with it is to fit his 2 men up front. I don't think he's been able. He hasn't wanted to drop either of them. So does Watkins come out?
Watkins is the golden boy, isn't he, at Bodymore?
Exactly, and he's told me Watkins won't play out wide for him, but he may have to now and be a runner on the left or right. So we'll see. But we'll see. I think we'll see a change of formation for Arsenal Friday for sure, mate.
Steve Mann said, I'd rather lose to Man United and beat the teams we should be beating. And yeah, there's an element. I mean, the Man United win was very nice, but we're not competing with Man United, are we, with what they want to do? It is better to take points off the clubs around you, but we all know football isn't as simple as that. The only one I wanted to discuss, we've not really mentioned much, is Buendia. I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter at half-time. Someone was saying that he was our brightest spark, and I thought he'd actually been pretty average in the first half, really. He gave away possession a few times. His first touch looked sloppy. I just thought he was like 60% Buendia. Like, do you know what I mean? We've not seen anywhere near the best of him. What did you make of Buendia? He's got some bright sparks, don't get me wrong, but to say it like he was our best player, I'm not having that just yet. He's not looking for £40 million worth, is he, at the moment?
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, showed some sparks, as you say. Slid Ings in. That's where you want him on the half turn. You got a great way to pass, Buendia, and that's where you want him in their position. So there's something to build on for him, definitely. Because when he come off the pitch, Villa were 2-0 up, so cruising. So he did okay in centrally today. He struggled in there in the past, but it's a work in progress with Buendia. He like you say, he wanted to has to come off. Didn't have the minutes in his legs to carry on, and that'll be an issue. But we need to get him up to speed sooner rather than later, and to make that big deal, club record signing work. And it hasn't worked just yet, but baby steps towards that happening. So I probably would accept his start against Arsenal. Probably, I think he keeps his place in there. And whether he plays out wide in that 4-3-3 or centrally behind a 1 or a 2 remains to be seen.
Let's end with a positive for I lose the will to live. John McGinn, best player on the pitch for Villa.
Proved himself again, mate. It's elite level now. Like he said in the summer, he's trimmed down. None of this burger eating in the off season. He's a mean machine now. And just when he scored, when he rolled for home, and loves scoring goals. McGinn does 11 in 33 for Scotland. Get him higher, get him up there. I mean, he's crossed for a Ings goal as well. And
yeah, good ball.
A bit criminal seeing as a number 6 last season, deep, holding in that 4-2-3-1. Get him up higher and causing mayhem. And when he burst forward in celebrating from the whole end, I thought this is his home. This is his great goal, and that's where he belongs, scoring goals in front of the Alt. That's where you want McGinn. So great performance from him today. I don't know how he ended up on a losing side. So yeah, McGinn, fantastic, mate. Coming on big time now. Back to that levels where he hit in promotion season. £50 million player, linked with Man U and whatnot. But yeah, he's some player now. He's taken on another level. We need the others around him to step up alongside him, and then once that happens, we get results on the board.
Yeah, totally agree. I think we'll call it a day for this podcast tonight. We'll be doing a more. I don't know whether we'll be on it because I don't know if I can stand it to be honest, going through it again. But we'll do another more in-depth podcast on Monday to go through it in a bit more detail. People want us to talk about Mings, whether he's good enough. Does he keep getting away with mistakes? I haven't seen anything back, so I don't want to say anything too heavy. Like Darren Jones here just put Mings is garbage. Like, is he garbage? Like, is he brilliant? No, like we've said this before, haven't we? If he was brilliant, this defender that never made mistakes, he wouldn't be playing for mid-table Aston Villa, would he? Like, there's bound to be some kind of errors. I don't know whether he's at fault for any of the goals specifically today, but defending as a whole just not good enough. Basically, no. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus as much as we've probably thrown a couple of players under the bus. That's that last 50 minutes just nowhere near enough. That's the way it goes sometimes. The whole squad needs to be better. Everyone needs to take responsibility. I don't really know what much more we can say about that at the moment because, like I said, I've not seen anything back, so I don't want to comment.
No, just set pieces the issue. Yeah, fair comment. Yeah, I mean, we need to move on from it and put it to bed. Right the wrongs. Win it after next week. It'll be rosy again, won't it? And you're like, brilliant, we're back. You know what I mean? So they've got to prove themselves on Friday night in North London. Otherwise, it could be a bit of a rocky patch. But we'll see, mate. I think there's something to build on. I'll just get Leon Bailey back, yeah?
Yeah, the forgotten man. Right, let's call it a day there then. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all your comments, even though most of them are all negative. Calling someone as a coward of a journalist because I won't say my thoughts. I just can't be bothered, to be honest. So yeah, let's call it a day there. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Come on the board.